Meghan Markle is always attempting to, shall we say, build relationships with very, very, very rich men. Megyn Kelly has weighed in on Meghan Markle's failed plan to bag a billionaire as her marriage to Prince Harry becomes more unhappy by the day.
Meghan is living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is she's a joke. It's embarrassing at this point. It's like, oh my gosh, for real, Meghan, you did that? You're gonna keep doing this? I mean, wow.
She thought Dubai would be her clean slate, the place to flip the story, step into luxury, and put real distance between herself and the mess back home. The plan looked shiny on paper, but the red carpet never showed up. Instead, sources claim Meghan Markle was allegedly stopped at immigration, pulled aside, and escorted into a private room away from the spotlight. No cameras, no smiles, no grand welcome at all. Just a quiet denial, according to insiders. The vibe was heavy from the jump. She arrived looking polished and ready, but what came next was the opposite of glamorous. After a short exchange with border control, whispers say her entry had been flagged in Dubai, a place known for strict rules, tight discretion, and deep respect for honor.
Now they're saying they're not even sure if she's going to make more jam. That thing's already dwindling on the vine. Everything she touches turns to shit. And I think every sort of creative person behind her or deep pocket behind her knows it's an extraordinary risk. She's too toxic to touch.
Officials reportedly weren't eager to roll out the welcome mat for someone viewed globally as unpredictable. They didn't need to explain much, and they didn't. Her reputation spoke louder than any stamp in her passport. And insiders say whatever happened behind closed doors left Meghan furious. One witness claims she walked out visibly shaking, eyes icy, lips pressed tight. She moved fast and shut everyone out. No small talk, no photos, no social media moments, just a silent and brutal rejection. Sources say the reason was simple. Right now, Meghan Markle is seen as toxic in certain circles. In the Middle East, reputation is everything, and once it's cracked, doors close fast. After months of headlines painting her as manipulative, always wronged, and most damaging of all, a bully.
She's already gotten the benefit of her bargain with Harry because she got the title. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be world famous. She wanted the title. You remember when Harry was single, he was the elephant. He was the one, the most eligible bachelor on earth. You could be a royal, you could become world famous overnight. You could live in a castle, you could have access to the crown jewels, you would be a princess. My God, yes, he could have had his pick.
Dubai reportedly made a calculated move. They didn't want the circus. They didn't want the noise. And they absolutely didn't want to be pulled into another Markle media storm. The message, according to insiders, was sharp and clear. A country built on order and structure won't bend for a brand linked to chaos. And it wasn't just public opinion doing the damage. Behind the scenes, reports of Meghan's behavior had already traveled farther than she expected. Former aides, including those who allegedly filed official complaints during her time in the UK, were said to have spoken with international advisors. Quiet chatter in diplomatic circles followed, with claims of tantrums, staff in tears, and sudden firings echoing behind closed doors. Dubai took notice, and they weren't impressed at all.
But this woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. We broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger. That was her goal, #goal, to marry Prince Harry. So it was all about getting the title. She's done that now. Now she's just stuck with this depressed ginger who has absolutely no family, no friends, and no money. This was not part of the plan.
The last thing officials reportedly wanted was someone famous for accusing everyone else of mistreatment while dragging a long trail of unresolved controversies behind her. Sources say when a person is surrounded by headlines about investigations and alleged legal heat back in the US, including claims of federal scrutiny in Montecito, no country is rushing to offer protection or special treatment, especially one that guards its image closely. But Dubai wasn't her only card on the table. Insiders claim Meghan is still quietly talking with Saudi officials, trying to work out terms that would let her live there under what some describe as a pseudo-diplomatic setup. Still, trust is shaky. Multiple sources say Saudi leadership is moving extra cautious, weighing every risk, because reputational fallout is the last thing they want on their hands.
Royal family, you should be so thankful this woman wanted to leave because she's not going to bring any good to the branding of royal. She's going to downgrade it to a level of ghetto, and that's what it is. This is just bad.
No matter how carefully Meghan tries to reshape her narrative, she's still carrying the weight of too many scandals. This whole situation exploded just days after reports claimed Meghan and Harry were allegedly forced out of the Montecito estate. Not sold, not a graceful move. According to insiders, they were kicked out, with alleged late rent issues and quiet money disputes with the property manager pushing things past the point of saving. It's a brutal drop from the flashy $100 million dream they once sold to the world. The Spotify deal collapsed. Netflix reportedly cooled off. Archewell donations slowed way down. That glossy post-royal empire everyone was promised is cracking in real time. With Dubai off the table and Saudi officials still hesitant, Meghan's list of safe landing spots is shrinking fast.
Because these billionaires can sense one thing. When you're not looking for a partner, you're looking for a solution. And that's obviously the lane that Meghan Markle's in now. She doesn't make really her own money. This whole Netflix thing is just a ruse. We all know this is made up just to give her something to do. Her miraculous renewal for her second season, which was already shot in full by the time the first season was done, meaning they just made some extra episodes and decided to roll out a fake second season as a PR plan, hasn't fooled anybody.
What stings the most, insiders say, is that Meghan allegedly thought buying access would be easy. She believed her title, even unofficial, would smooth things over, that global fame still meant open doors. Instead, she hit a hard wall. A border system that didn't care about headlines or PR spins. A government that allegedly reviewed her file and decided she was too risky. This wasn't about race or politics, sources insist. It was about unpredictability and fear that hosting her could unleash nonstop negative attention. And it didn't help that stories about her treatment of staff keep resurfacing. Former palace employees continue to stand by their claims of mistreatment, and those accounts haven't faded quietly into the past. The pressure didn't stop at borders or housing drama. It followed her into every room she tried to enter. Insiders say Meghan's phone hasn't stopped buzzing, but not with offers. It's warnings, delays, and polite silence from people who once rushed to take meetings.
He's there, that she's still married. I mean, this woman is going to keep trying to get elevated with the next man because that's what she wants. Because, Harry at this point doesn't even have enough money for her. And so she needs to find a man that's going to really give her what she wants financially.
The energy has shifted and everyone feels it. Hollywood, according to sources, is keeping its distance. Studio executives are said to be nervous about attaching their brands to someone surrounded by nonstop controversy. One insider summed it up bluntly, saying the vibe is too messy right now, and no one wants their project turning into a headline magnet overnight. Meetings that were once in the works suddenly vanished. Even her inner circle is reportedly shrinking. Longtime allies have gone quiet, and former supporters are allegedly advising her to lay low and stop pushing new deals.
She will find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find the billionaire.
That's not the advice she expected to hear. The belief that she could outtalk, outspin, and outlast the backlash is running straight into resistance. What's wild is how fast the narrative flipped. Just a few years ago, she was positioned as untouchable, the face of reinvention and power moves. Now, sources claim decision-makers see her as unpredictable, high risk, and hard to manage. One industry voice allegedly said, "The upside isn't worth the headache," and that line is spreading fast.
Harry just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over, and they're no longer aligned in purpose. So it's time to move on.
Behind closed doors, the talk is getting colder. Advisors are said to be urging extreme caution, reminding partners that every move she makes turns into a debate, a backlash, or another round of accusations. No one wants to wake up trending for the wrong reasons. And while Meghan continues to frame herself as misunderstood, critics argue the pattern is too loud to ignore. The complaints, the fallouts, the burned bridges, they keep stacking up. Former staff still stand by their claims, and those stories haven't disappeared, no matter how much time passes. This isn't exile, but it's not freedom either. It's a tight corner where options are limited and patience is running thin. Doors aren't slamming loudly anymore, they're just quietly staying shut. And that silence might be the loudest message of all. American staffers hired after the royal exit have allegedly echoed the same troubling claims.
I mean, she flirts openly with other men. I remember when she was at that tennis match, looked like she was flirting with Serena Williams' husband, like with her skirt and just how she just looks at men. Harry, it doesn't matter.
One former employee reportedly quit after just 6 weeks, pointing to what they described as emotional whiplash and manipulative hostility. In the West, sources say behavior like that might get brushed off or spun by PR, but in Dubai, it's a serious red flag. Diplomatic observers claim Meghan's attempt to relocate while under ongoing legal scrutiny may have sealed her fate. No government wants to look like it's shielding someone tied to investigations, not even quiet allies. And while Meghan's team has stayed completely silent about the Dubai situation, insiders say the timing couldn't be worse. Social media smelled blood immediately. Twitter threads are blowing up. Reddit is packed with theories. PR professionals are openly questioning how this could possibly be spun, because right now, there's no clean angle. Silence isn't helping, and every hour without answers just feeds the noise. She's lost her home. She's lost another shot at reinventing herself overseas. And according to insiders, the stress is now bleeding into her marriage.
That Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
Two separate sources claim Meghan and Harry have been arguing more often, mostly over money and future plans. Meghan reportedly feels cornered, while insiders say Harry is deeply frustrated. According to sources, Harry has been reaching out to the palace, quietly trying to reopen communication and find some kind of lifeline. Each attempt, insiders claim, ends the same way, with doors firmly shut. No progress, no welcome back. There are whispers that Harry didn't even know about Meghan's attempt to enter Dubai until after it went sideways. Sources say the move was a solo decision, and when she was allegedly stopped at the border, the fallout embarrassed them both. And that may have been the breaking point. One source close to a mutual friend said, "They're not aligned anymore. He wants structure. She wants an escape." Another source hinted they're now sleeping in separate rooms, a detail that's raising eyebrows fast. It's all speculation, of course, but with Meghan's camp staying unusually quiet and no public pushback, it's getting harder for observers to ignore the shift.
To be honest, we know Harry is not the smartest tool in the shed. It's just like, yeah, of course I'm meeting up with X because we need to talk business, we need money, we've got this lifestyle, we need these private jets, etc., etc., etc.
Something feels different, and whatever's happening behind closed doors doesn't look stable at all. What's happening now, insiders say, is damage control mode at full speed. Meghan's team is reportedly scrambling behind the scenes, reaching out to contacts, testing the waters, trying to see who's still willing to take a call. But the responses aren't what they used to be. Messages go unanswered, meetings get postponed, the silence is loud. Sources claim the strategy has shifted from expansion to survival. Instead of chasing new platforms or international moves, the focus is allegedly on stopping the bleeding. Fewer appearances, fewer statements, less exposure. The idea, insiders say, is to wait for the noise to die down, but that's risky when the headlines keep coming. What makes this even tougher is that public sympathy appears to be thinning. Online chatter suggests people are less willing to buy another reinvention arc. Commentators are openly saying the pattern feels familiar. Conflict, exit, blame, repeat. And once that perception sets in, it's hard to shake.
Meghan ruined Harry. Now that the once carefree, fun-loving prince has turned into a miserable moaner, lashing out from the depths of his paranoia at a world he thinks is conspiring against him.
Financial pressure is also part of the equation, according to multiple sources. With major deals drying up and donations slowing, every move now comes with higher stakes. Advisors are reportedly urging restraint, warning that one wrong step could close doors permanently. The margin for error is gone. Meanwhile, industry insiders say brands are watching from a distance. No one wants to be first to jump back in. The risk feels too high and the reward too uncertain. One marketing source allegedly said the concern isn't controversy alone, it's unpredictability. Brands can manage backlash, they can't manage chaos. What's clear is that the global shine Meghan once relied on isn't opening doors the way it used to. Borders, businesses, and power players are all sending the same quiet signal. Stability matters, trust matters, and right now both are in short supply. This phase isn't loud or dramatic on the surface. There are no press conferences, no bold announcements, no glossy rebrands. Instead, it's stalled plans, cautious steps, and a shrinking list of options. And for someone who built a public image on momentum, that slowdown hits hard. Whether this is a temporary pause or the start of a longer freeze remains to be seen.
Netflix will, allow their relationship with Prince Harry to expire, but they are holding on tightly to Meghan to work with Meghan in hopes that if there is a divorce, they would get the exclusive and pounce on that access to Meghan, because they know that that's the next big thing that would sell.
But one thing is undeniable. The world she's trying to move through is no longer bending, and every next move carries consequences she can't spin away. This isn't the couple that quietly stepped away from royal life looking for peace and privacy anymore. According to insiders, this is a brand actively coming apart at the seams. With doors closing both in the US and overseas, Meghan is allegedly facing a harsh reality check. Fame might get you into the room, but once controversies pile up, even the richest and most powerful places know when to shut the door, especially when trouble follows. The image alone has already done serious damage. Meghan being stopped at Dubai immigration, escorted into a private room, denied entry, and reportedly leaving furious has burned itself into public memory. No matter how her team tries to frame it, the optics are rough. Sources say it looks like rejection, plain and simple. And that's not something glossy PR can erase. And if Saudi officials decide not to offer her any form of safe landing, insiders warn the situation gets even tighter. With limited options left, Meghan could find herself running out of places willing to take the risk. The escape routes are closing and fast. Meanwhile, Harry has gone noticeably quiet. According to sources close to the situation, he's done being pulled deeper into non-stop controversy. After the Dubai situation, insiders claim he started distancing himself from Meghan's mounting issues, trying to protect what's left of his own standing. Sources say Harry has quietly reopened private talks, attempting once again to reconnect with palace officials. He's reportedly desperate for a path back, or at least some kind of safety net.
Speaking of the reality show, the cooking show, I saw the same story. She's already tired of selling the jams and jellies. She's like, well, we might restock in 2026. I think there's no demand. I also think she's lazy. I don't think she wants to work. They don't want to work. They want to twerk and sit around and film videos. So I think she should actually run for office, because Meghan Markle, you're lazy.
I like working hard.
But so far, the response has been ice cold. William, insiders say, still isn't answering calls. Charles, according to multiple accounts, has completely shut the door. Harry is allegedly starting to understand that walking away doesn't mean automatic forgiveness. Not now, not after everything. The cracks in the fairy tale are no longer hidden. What once looked like a bold new chapter now feels uncertain and unstable. The ending no longer looks scripted, and it definitely doesn't resemble a happily ever after. At this point, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Every move meant to reset the story seems to trigger another setback. Insiders say decision makers across media, politics, and business are comparing notes, and the conclusion keeps coming back the same way. Too volatile, too unpredictable, too much baggage. What's changed is the patience level. People who once believed they could manage the chaos now want no part of it. Sources say the concern isn't just controversy, it's control. When narratives spiral and allies get pulled into fallout they didn't sign up for, even powerful connections start backing away. Behind the scenes, advisors are reportedly warning that time is no longer on her side. Public memory is sticky, and images like border rejections and stalled deals don't fade quickly. The longer the silence drags on, the more space critics have to fill in the blanks, and that gap is getting louder every day. There's also talk that the inner strategy meetings have turned tense. According to insiders, disagreements over next steps are heating up, with no clear path forward. Go public and risk backlash, or stay quiet and let rumors grow. Either choice comes with consequences, and the margin for mistakes is razor thin. What once looked like a global rebrand now feels like a slow shutdown. Doors aren't slamming dramatically anymore, they're just not opening at all. And in circles where access is everything, being quietly shut out sends a message louder than any headline. If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.